So this little indie film came out. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I know a lot of you want me to review more indie stuff that I really like. So I saw this film recently called Deadpool 2. And I figure, you know, I'm going to expose some people to it, because I know there's a lot of people who kind of want to see Deadpool 2, but they're holding off because they want to see what Ralph, I'm not reviewing superhero movies, the movie maker, thinks of it. I feel bad, you know, because I know no one wanted to see this film unless it got my recommendation. So I saw Deadpool 2 just last night, and it was good. It was really good. Not even joking. I really wasn't looking forward to it that much. I thought the first Deadpool was fine, but this one, it did everything better. I made a video a few years ago about what I think Deadpool could improve, you know? This is just my opinion on what they could improve. And golly gee, if they did everything I wanted them to do. I liked the first Deadpool, and I think it had a lot of potential, but it mainly fell into a lot of the cliches and bad things that all these superhero movies fall into. It did it with a little wink, but it still did it, so I don't know. A lot of the comedy was kind of weak for me. The color palette was just ugly. There was one good action scene in the movie, and there were some memorable moments, but overall, I think everyone involved in making the movie took the criticisms they got to heart, and basically every aspect is done better in this one. I thought the comedy was as good, if not better. I thought all of the action was better. The movie had a real good look to it. One of the guys who directed John Wick and Atomic Blonde, which I don't like at all, but Atomic Blonde looks pretty. And this movie looks pretty too. All of the production design and the lighting and the directing is very inspired. There was, I love that they showed like future segments in the movie, because Cable's from the future, and it looked very much like Terminator 2 when they go in the future. I love that little touch. It's a great little reference. It's just a technically better movie in every way. There's a lot of jokes worked into the music, which I thought was cool. There's an operatic song called Holy Shitballs, making fun of, you know, overdramatic opera music in movies.
You can't stop this motherfucker.
Deadpool had a lot more characters to play off of this time. He was a lot less annoying than I thought he was in the first one. He was less grating with the fourth wall breaking and the references, although there is a little bit of that in here. Again, like the first one, there's a lot of hit or miss jokes, but there's so many jokes that you could just kind of look past it. TJ Miller was awful, though. I don't know why TJ Miller is in movies.
You look like somebody turned your face inside out and then just left it like that, but then you got in a house fire.
I guess he's supposed to be the comedic relief, but like he's so fucking one note, and his one note joke isn't even that funny. Oh, Deadpool, you look like this crossed with this. You look like a burnt asshole.
God, you look like a house fire was in another house fire. Wade, you look like a trash can full of shit was placed on your
You
shoulders.
smell
and
like
then
a
you
piece
were in
of
a
shit.
train fire.
That's all he does the whole movie. Like, shut up. Get rid of him. Kill him off, please. All it wants to be is a fun, ridiculous summer popcorn movie that makes fun of all of the dumb elements in all these superhero movies. It has such a playful tone, and it takes all these just has-been characters that I assume are lifted from the comic books. Like, Cable is such a weird and stupid idea. Like, this guy who comes from the future. And then you have Domino, whose only power is luck. What's the guy's name? Peter? Just like the random dude who just shows up. He's funny too. And then you have all these other has-been superheroes. And I loved how they all played off each other, and they used all these characters to do genuinely creative things. There was lots of visual humor that I thought was really funny. All of the acting is fucking top-notch. Everyone knows exactly the tone of the movie and exactly how to play it. Josh Brolin is serious and stern the entire thing. He's a great straight man to Deadpool silliness. I really liked what they did with Deadpool in this. The main issue with the first one is that it was just very thin plot-wise. The movie just felt so hollow, like it could have been 20 minutes long, and it was padded out to an hour and a half. And this one, there's a lot more going on. I mean, I guess I'm going to spoil a little bit, not that much. The little kid from Hunt for the Wilder People turns out to be the bad guy in this movie. And I love the idea of Deadpool, who's so used to solving his problems by just killing everyone. In this movie, it's so much more interesting to see him try to solve this problem by not killing the villain. Meanwhile, Cable, the straight man, is trying to just kill the kid. It was different for Deadpool. I like that a lot. I like that they did that. Let me look up the kid's name. He's from Hunt for the Wilder People, which is a really good movie as well. Julian Dennison. I thought he was great in this movie. And again, it was so different to have a kid be the villain. It was just a nice change of pace. And you totally get where the kid's coming from. I heard complaints that he's playing the same character as he did in Hunt for the Wilder People. Beside the fact that he was an orphan again, I don't see the parallel at all. He's much angrier in this movie than he is. If anything, I think they underutilized his comedic skill, because for a little kid, he has great comedic timing. But yeah, whatever. I thought he was good. I thought everyone in this movie was good, except for T.J. Miller.
Your head looks like some sort of crystal that you would see at a 2-bit psychic.
No, I'm praising it. I do have issues with it, and this isn't a 5-star movie. Hate to break it to you. But I think for everything it wanted to do, it succeeds. I don't know what else you'd want out of a Deadpool movie beside this. It's funny, it's creative, it has some really fun action in it. It pokes fun at all these elements in a creative way, sometimes in a not so creative way. Deadpool's a lot less annoying and grating in this. The jokes as a whole hit more, I think, than the first one. And I loved all the side characters, including the ones who come back from the last movie. There are quite a few issues with this. Some of them delve into spoilers, but I'll give you a warning, because I know people care about spoilers. Here's the thing, though. The plot in this movie was actually, like, I didn't know where it was going, which was great. Like, you have Cable being the villain, and you think the kid is on Deadpool's side, and the Deadpool dynamic with the kid is developed, but then the kid becomes a villain, and Cable has to work with Deadpool, and Cable is a great straight man to Deadpool. Like, the story would take so many twists and turns that I thought were interesting. Like, it wasn't just a boring revenge story where Deadpool has to fight an over-the-top villain. It was more clever than that. I have some complaints with it, though. Here's some little things no one will notice. I didn't like the editing at all in this. I thought it was very poorly edited. The whole movie just kind of feels choppy. There's scenes that are missing. I like, flat out, there's a scene where T.J. Miller gets kidnapped, and I don't know if I missed something, but he's just in a chair tied up, and I'm like, how the fuck did he get here? There were certain elements that were so rushed, and there were certain things that could have gone on longer. During action scenes, the editor would cut to just weird angles, and he would cut from one action set piece to another. At the end of the movie, you got Cable and Deadpool fighting people, you got Colossus fighting a dude, and you got Domino fighting people. And all three are intercut with each other in a very kind of random way. And there was like no logic behind any of it. It didn't flow well at all. And from what I could tell, the choreography is all really well done, and the visual effects were pretty good for most of it. But it was just the editing. It kept taking me out of the movie. Some of the CG's a little bad, but I forgave that mostly. From what I know, this movie has a pretty low budget considering it's a summer superhero movie, you know? And still, most of the CGI looks better than the DC movies and Black Panther. How embarrassing is that? Black Panther had a $200 million budget, and Justice League had a $300 million budget, and it looks fucking way worse than this movie. It's mainly because the director knows how to make movies like this, you know? He's worked on big budget action movies, so he knows what he's doing. To get into some spoilery stuff, I wish they'd killed Deadpool. Deadpool's death scene in this movie I thought was very well done. I loved how it went on for just fucking 5 minutes. It went on way longer than it had to, and it was really funny. And it was really sweet, and I wasn't expecting it. Like, oh, they're gonna kill off this character and just end the whole series on a high note, which I really liked. And at that point, I was thinking of rating the movie like a 4 out of 5 or something. But then the movie kind of undoes that, and it's like, Deadpool, we need to make more money off of him, so he's gonna come back. It's not like I'm not looking forward to what they do next, because this movie's a huge improvement over the first one, I think. And I think the one that comes after, Deadpool 3, will be a huge improvement from this. Also, this movie really doesn't work when it's trying to be emotional and serious. The girlfriend character dies early on, and it was so obvious she was gonna die when she's going on about, like, oh my god, I can't wait to have a family and a kid, what are we gonna name it? And yeah, there were also a lot of jokes that just didn't hit. The ones that do hit are really funny, but the ones that don't, I was like...
You look like Shrek took a shit.
You smell
on
like
your neck.
if someone had
You
an
look like the
amputated
inside
foot
of other
and you
people's
shit in the
asshole.
car. Like, shut the fuck up. I think for what it is, it's really good. I had a lot of fun watching it. I can't give it a 5 or a 4 just because there were so many technical issues with it that just kept bothering me. Just weird shots that I'm like, why was that there? Just weird editing decisions. Very inconsistent comedy. Little things like that bother me. Plus the movie's just so stupid. I can't give it a 5 out of 5. It's not a masterpiece. But it's not trying to be. It's not trying to be anything other than a fun parody of superhero movies. And as that, it totally works.